Okay, so in this video, I'm installing a bow using corner pockets made of the sail material itself. The two little marks there show exactly where I want the bow to hit the wingtips on the sail. And you can see that I've got about a half-inch hem outside that point that I'll use to make the corner pocket. So what I'm going to do now is grab a little piece of removable tape to hold a fold in place. I'm going to fold the flap over so that the corner of that fold is right at the point where I want the bow to be. And I'll use that tape to hold it in place. I want the leading edge of the flap and the fold itself to sort of be at about 45 degrees to where the bow is going to come in, forming a little arrow shape. Now I've got a little piece of tape that I've made with adhesive transfer tape and some other sail material. Normally I'd use the same color as the sail, but to make it easier to see what's going on, I use some blue stuff. And what I'm going to do is put that over the little fold I made. So I'm going to line it up with the trailing edge of the sail there, and I want half on the sail and half off, just like that, and so that I can fold it over like this, and that's going to hold that little fold tightly shut and will prevent the bow from poking out through the corner of the fold itself. I don't need that removable tape anymore, so it comes off. And the bow now can fit right into that pocket. It'll secure it. So you can see that little kind of arrowhead shape the pocket has now. So neither the top or the bottom side of that pocket is hitting the bow at all. At this point, you can trim off the part of the folded hem that is not being held in place by the tape. We'll need to do this at some point because we're going to wrap that hem around the bow once it gets in there. Do that on the other corner also. And at this point, you can fine-tune the bow, put it in the pocket, make sure it's got the right length. I cut the bow a little bit long and then just shorten it until it crosses the spine at right at the position I've marked. Now I'm using weldwood contact cement to putting that on the bow. I've made a mark on the bow where the leading edge that will be wrapped by the sail hem starts, and I'm running glue on all sides of the bow. I'm spinning it in my fingers there, you can't see that. I don't put bow at the very tip because it will slide more easily into the pocket if it doesn't have the cement on it. And now I'm going to apply weldwood to the hem there. I put a line on the sail that shows how far down I want that glue to go. That's the bottom side of the bow. I just have the bow in place and trace that black line. And now, with glue on the bow and glue on the sail, both have been drying for a minute or two, so they're still plenty tacky. Fit the bow into the corner pockets. Without any glue on the tips there, it goes in easily. And just make sure that bow goes all the way into the corner. I'm going to use some wax paper to keep one side of the bow from sticking while I get the other side placed down. And I'm just very gently pulling the sail there before I tap the bow down, and that contact cement will stick just fine. And do the same on the other side. Pulling that sail, tapping the bow down, and now I'll take a pen, a Sharpie or something, and tap that bow so that the contact cement is on the bow and the sail is sticking a little bit. And now I can make one little last cut here so that I can wrap the hem. I'm just going to both sides. And now what I need to do is to trim that hem so that when I wrap it, it will just go around the bow. So this is an I don't know, 0.58, 0.59 bow, like an 0.6. For that, I'm leaving it's about 1/8 of an inch of sail material there. And we'll do that on both sides. And now it's a matter of wrapping that sail around the bow. The only trick here is to do it super gradually so that you don't get any big wrinkles. So I like to come from the bottom and just gently wrap it around the bow. Get it far enough, you can kind of run along the upper edge of the bow there. And then finally wrap it over to the side, and at some point, there's enough there, you can sort of just run your finger along it, and use your fingernail to roll it over the bow completely. And if you cut that hem the right length, that wrap will take the hem right down to the sail and completely cover the bow without any extra. Once you've done that, the pocket is no longer needed. Its bow is now being held in place by the wrapped hem. So, looks pretty nice. So we can chop off what remains of the pocket there, and then hide it all with a piece of tape. So this is a little piece of tape I've made with adhesive transfer tape and the same polyfilm material the sail's made of. Onto the trailing edge of the sail, about half on the front here, and then another half on the back. Looks like my head got in the way a little bit. And just fold that over. Any wrinkles. And you can see that I made that just a little bit short. You wouldn't notice it if I had used the same sail material for the corner pocket, but that blue material, you can see that my tape came out just a little bit short. But that's on the back side, so who cares?